What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. So, it's in the morning, early here. A truck just fucking woke me up, so I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna make a video before I start my day, which today will be a Halloween party. So, what are we going to be talking about? We are going to be talking about the fact that you will never truly be fluent in your language, but at the same time, fluency is just around the corner. So, what do I mean by these two, they seem like opposite statements, although I did say truly in the first statement. Okay, so first up, when you learn a language as an adult, okay, not as a kid or anything like that, or halfway in between or something weird. When you learn a language as an adult, you will never truly feel like that you have reached fluency. And it doesn't matter how long you spend with the language. Like, I've spent probably 15 years or so, no, more than that, maybe, yeah, a long time. I've spent a long time with Esperanto, okay? I've used this language actively during the last 15 plus years, and I feel like I'm not truly fluent. So I have a C1 certificate in the language. I could easily get a C2 without too many issues, I know that. But there will always be times where I'm talking about some niche topic where I will know the word in English, but then I won't know the word in Esperanto. Sometimes it's actually the other way around as well. Sometimes I'll know in Esperanto but not in English. But there will be mainly times in Esperanto where I experience that, where I'm like, what is the word for this situation? Now, I could easily talk my way around that situation. If I don't know the word in the moment, I can just go, blah, 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 I'll describe it. Or I'll get around it using some other word that I do know. But I know that there was a route I wanted to take, and I couldn't take that route because there was a blocker. There was something that I did not know. And this is after, 15 plus years of essentially the easiest language in the world to learn. I still face these issues. And you can imagine with any other language, you're going to face the same types of things. So this is just a thing that you have to deal with and understand. And it's going to drive you up the wall. And there'll be points where you feel like, I'm finally fluent. And then you realize you're not. And then maybe like a year later, you'll be like, I am fluent now. And then you realize, no, there's still holes in your fluency. But fluency is something that you will reach, at a good point after starting to learn the language, somewhere within the 2 to 5 year mark type of thing. Like, you will reach it depending on how much time and energy you put into the language. Now, I do want to talk on this a little bit because people always say, in my comments section, some people are like, Evildea, like, you seem like you're just a bit better at languages than most people, when clearly I'm not. I fucking suck at English, okay? I've got so many comments about that. But I will get these types of comments, or I'll get comments like, I don't think I'm ever going to, actually learn how to speak this language. When, guys, learning a language is not hard, it's not special, it's just you being a stubborn motherfucker. That's all that learning a language is. The more stubborn you are, the more of a guarantee that you will learn that language eventually. Now, we can take all these fancy schmancy methods that we've looked at on this channel, or other YouTubers talk about, all their fucking get quicks, freaking learn language schemes and shit. You can take all those methods, okay? They've all got some benefits and some, pros and cons going on there. But at the end of the day, it's just about spending a lot of time with the language, actively engaging with it. So as long as you sit down every day and you actively engage with it, you try to learn something new in the language on that day, you will eventually get there. So basically, the way to learn a language is just to be a really stubborn motherfucker. And eventually you will get there, okay? I know this because I've done it and I'm redoing it. And I don't know why I'm redoing it. It's kind of stupid in a lot of ways because it is the biggest waste of time in my life. But at the same time, I enjoy being a stubborn motherfucker. So, when it comes to language, the more time you spend per day, the quicker you'll get there. That's pretty much it. But as long as you keep going every day, you will get there eventually, okay? So you can spend a tiny little bit, and it might take you 5 to 10 years. Or you can spend quite a bit per day, 2-3 hours, and you might get there into 2 years, depending on the language, maybe sooner, or it may be longer. But eventually you will get there as long as you remain a stubborn motherfucker. Now, going out and learning all these different methods that exist, you're probably going to use all of them at some point. And they're all going to be beneficial to you at some point, okay? And I'm experimenting with different methods. And trust me, you're not going to stick to the one method. No matter what you do, you may use Anki for a year. And then you may go, fuck that, I'm sick of this deck and all these fucking reviews. Delete that shit, I'm never using Anki again and I recommend no one ever use it. And then you may spend a year on comprehensible input, just watching content. And then after that, you're going to go, fuck this shit, I'm sick of just sitting here watching the same crap over and over and not understanding anything new. I'm going to go fucking do this random course over here. And then you may do that course and then you'll be like, fuck that, I am sick of waiting for these other mofos on this goddamn course to catch up with me. You know, like, you will always get sick of something after a while. But as long as you keep jumping to something new, when you do finally get sick of it, and I'm not talking within a day, you know, just go, Anki, comprehensible input, freaking course over here, you know, new method over here. Like, you try for a period of time until it literally drives you up the wall, then you can change over, okay? And that's it. It's just about being stubborn, and you will get there. Now, I can say this with absolute confidence because I am a dumb motherfucker. When it comes to a lot of things, I'm just really, really stubborn. My stubbornness makes up for my lack of intelligence. So, like, I can look back at the past when I learned Esperanto, and I still remember, okay, I worked at this place that was in a pretty remote area, and at lunchtimes, I would go out, walk down the street, and the street was literally just farmland, pretty much. But there was like this old car park where no one was. So I would just walk through the car park, and I was listening to something that I had created. And it was basically participle patterns within Esperanto. And I was just drilling them over and over and over. And it was driving me insane because I could not fluently use them. And yet now, when I think back to that point, I could bust those bastards out without no problem at all. Like, I don't even have to think about it. But there was a time where I was standing there and I was absolutely struggling with this concept and how to, like, actually use it fluently in conversation. And there's many moments like this where I can look back at those times where I would be, you know, learning something and going, oh man, this is so hard. Like the accusative case in Esperanto. Oh, this is so hard. Now it's just like, it's just second nature to me. I don't even think about it. And I'm seeing the same thing happen with Mandarin Chinese and with Spanish, okay? And I'm using completely different methods for them. So for Mandarin Chinese, I'm using a lot of chunking. I'm using a lot of speech, you know, production of speech. I'm doing some comprehensible input, but barely any at this stage, okay? But I'm doing a lot of that as opposed to Spanish, which is just a pure input method. And it doesn't matter the method at the end of the day, okay? Yes, some are like more efficient in some ways or others, but at the end of the day, you're going to use them all. So I can see with the Spanish, even now, that I'm starting to watch dubbed content in the language, okay? And understanding like 80% of it, as long as it's something that I've seen before. But if I go back to the beginning of the year and I watch videos I made about it back then, I was struggling with shit that's super goddamn easy now, okay? So it's like, as long as you keep looking back, you'll see the progress you've made. Make some type of like system so you can actually track yourself, and that would be the biggest inspiration. And just be a stubborn motherfucker and you will get there. It's the same with Chinese, okay? There was a time where I was struggling with making just the basic sounds and the tones of the language, and yet now I'm actually starting to use it for gaming videos. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video before I headed out because it's kind of been on my mind, and that fucking truck woke me up, and I figured, you know, I'm going to do it now. I better go get dressed. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Remain stubborn, keep grinding. I'll see you all in the next video. And if you're not there, I will find you because I'm a stubborn motherfucker, and you do not want that. So sabe.